Hi guys, welcome back to the Vanity. It's Jennifer. So today what we're going to do is just like a get ready with me. I'm going to use like all new products that are new to my collection, not necessarily brand new. I do have some brand new products and then just some new items that I've picked up. So let's just go ahead and put them on our face and see what we think. Okay, so we're zooming you guys in here. First off, what I'm going to put on my face is this Garnier Skin Actives Soothing Facial Mist. This was sent to me by Influencer to test out. I've used quite a bit of it and right down to here. And so far my thoughts on it are, I like it. It's a rose water spray. It doesn't have as much rose scent as I thought it would. As far, like I have this one from Heritage, was it? I have this one from Heritage Store. This one I feel like has just more rose in it. It's essentially just rose and water. This one does have other stuff in it. However, the mister on this is amazing. It's like the finest mister I've ever had. So once this is gone, I will certainly even just keep the bottle to use for toners and possibly even other makeup setting sprays because I really like it. But if you like the idea of a rose spray, you don't like an overwhelming rose scent, this one is a good one for you. Moving on though, we're going to just put that on to hydrate the skin. Yeah, it's like a nice, I don't know, just a really fine mist and it goes on really easily. Okay, and then for primer, I thought I would try this. I have used other ones like this, just not this purple one. It's the BECCA First Light Priming Filter. This, I believe, is supposed to be like their brightening one. And this one I don't really notice too much. I don't know. It's like a subtle glow. To be honest, it just kind of feels really hydrating. I don't see that it's doing too much brightening. I'm just going to go in a little bit more right here. I want to make sure that that is nice and hydrated because the foundation that I'm actually going to go in with today is a powder foundation, so I just want to make sure I'm really well hydrated. Okay, and because I'm going to do a powder foundation, I'm going to go in with my concealer first, which for that I have the Tarte Shape Tape. I recently picked this up, so it's new to me. It's not new to the market. Usually everybody loves this product. I have used it a few times, so I kind of already have my thoughts on it, but I'm going to go to use the rose spray and just wet this little Real Techniques sponge. It's like a mini Miracle Complexion sponge. I like using that for underneath the eyes. The color that I have this in is light neutral, and I'm not going to do a lot because this is a pretty full coverage concealer. Alright, that feels pretty good. I am going to do a little bit on the eyelids, and then I will just kind of touch these little areas that are a little bit red. And we'll blend those out as well. Okay, I feel like that looks pretty good. I'm not going to add any more concealer, but before I go in with the foundation, I'm going to use this liquid highlight from Wet n Wild. This one is in Hello Goodbye, or Halo Goodbye, sorry. And it's just like a nice champagne-y type of highlighter. And I'm going to use a Real Techniques stipple brush to blend that out. So far, I actually quite like that primer. I feel like it did give a little bit of a healthy glow to the skin, a little bit of a blurring effect, but not too much. So the foundation that we're going to go in with is this new one from J.CAT Beauty. It's their Aquasurance Compact Foundation. The color that I picked mine up in is Ivory. For the shade selection, they didn't really have too much, but it just looks like this. It's a little bit washed out on the viewfinder, and I'm just going to use the It brush is from Ulta. This one just says it's the Airbrush Buffing Foundation Brush. So I'm going to use that to put this all over the skin. And I'm just kind of using like a press and swipe motion because I don't want to disrupt all this stuff that I put on. And I've only used this foundation once before, but I was really impressed with the lasting power, and it didn't look overly powdery. I used the stretch concealer from Glossier under it yesterday, and I really liked that as well. I actually feel like this sits better on my skin than even like the Bare Minerals. Their powder foundation, not the Bare Pro, but their original. I feel like this sits a little bit better. It has more coverage. It doesn't cling as much to my dry patches. But with any powder foundation, you're definitely going to want to make sure that you're well hydrated. Okay, sorry if the lighting changed. I felt a little bit washed out, so I did switch that. Got a little bit of crusty right there. All right, then I'm going to take my e.l.f. blush brush that I always use to set my under eye. I'm just going to take a little bit and set the under eye with this as well. And that's it. I feel like this powder foundation does a really good job. It gives a lot of coverage. It doesn't accentuate too much, and it doesn't cling too much. I feel like it's a really good powder foundation, so if you guys see that there's a shade that might work for you, I would recommend picking this up. Then I have this Pure Minerals Wake Up Brow, and I'm going to go ahead and use that to fill in my brows. I don't have a new brow gel that I haven't used on my channel, so I will just put something on, but we're going to use this quickly to fill in the brows. The color that this one is in is Espresso. I like the pencil part of this, but the brush on this is just stupid. It looks just like a, I don't know, like a really, kind of like a toothbrush. It's just flat and straight. It doesn't do much for combing through the brows. So the other end comes with some sort of like a highlighting thing that you're supposed to use. It says Hello Bright Eyes. I think you can use this underneath your brow. It's like a really light pink color. Otherwise, what I find it's very useful for is just putting it in the waterline and just brightening up the eyes that way. But I don't necessarily think that it's the best item to put with the brow product. It's nice that it's like a 2-in-1, but I would much prefer a regular spoolie than this weird brush that's with it. But I do like the color. So I'm going to go ahead and set my brows real quickly, and I'm just going to use the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Boost In Set. It's nothing new, but that's what I currently have. Alright, so I got a really cool PR package from Pixi. It came in this giant box here. Let's see, which way will it actually look? Right, like this, and it had 2 of the Pixi glow cakes in there. It's like a natural one and a pink one, and it also had this cool like little selfie light for your phone. But these are the 2 glow cakes. So the idea behind this is that you would have a bronzer, blush, and highlight all in one, and it's sort of gradient, so everything matches, and you can mix it all together or use them individually. I think the color that I'm going to use today is the GildedBare Glow, and then the other one is called Pink Champagne Glow. This Pink Champagne one I am going to keep for an upcoming giveaway, so keep your eyes open for that. And then this one we're going to go ahead and give a try today. I love Pixi products because this sort of mint green color, I just love lime green, mint green, and this is such a beautiful color, and I absolutely love it. I do love the gold writing and everything. I just feel like it looks so pretty. So this is GildedBare Glow, and I'm going to go in with the bronzer type situation, and we'll start bronzing up the face. I'm going to use just a fluffy brush to do that here. Now everything in there does have a little bit of a sheen, so if that's not something that you go for, be just aware of that. So far that's a pretty light bronzer, but it's pretty. It's pretty light and pretty. That'll be a good one for me because I don't mind bronzers with a little bit of a glow, but I don't like them to be too intense because I like to build it up. I like to go ham with it. So if it's too intense, then I get carried away. So what do we think of that? I like it so far. So then I'm going to go in with the blush brush here. This is just a Morphe E34 brush. I'm going to go into the middle area here and pick up that peachy color and put that on the cheeks. You can see I'm just doing that. And that's really pretty, but as you can see, it's certainly super glowy everywhere because remember we just put a little bit of that Wet n Wild highlighter, so it's definitely going to give you an intense glow everywhere. I wouldn't say like blinding metallic, but you are going to be glowy. You are going to be glowy. So the next step then, I'm going to take this brush by Delium Tools. It's their 944. I believe it's more of a contour brush, but it's really the only one that I have clean, so I'm going to use it for highlight. We're just going to go into the bottom here and use this as our highlight. It's going to be kind of hard to tell what this one is doing just because it's so glowy already. I'm going to give those all just a quick swatch for you. So I don't know if you can see it or if it's washed out, but those are the three. So that's the bronzer, the blush, and the highlight. The bronzer does come a little bit powdery. I didn't really want to blend that powder in, but you can kind of brush it away. But as you can see, they're all pretty neutral, and I have to believe that the pink is kind of the same way, but I've heard that one's a little bit more intense. And again, I don't generally lean towards pink blushes, so this one is definitely up my alley. And I like the look that it gave. It is quite glowy, so if you don't like that, then I wouldn't recommend it because everything in here does have shimmer. I think I'm just gonna set my face again with this spray just to kind of meld all the powders in. And I'll just use my fluffy brush that I used for the bronzer to kind of dab that in. Okay, so the next item I'm super excited about, I picked up the Desi and Dose of Colors, Desi and Katy Dose of Colors Friendcation palette, and here is this beauty here. I have to say one thing though, well, two things about it. I got it on the sale, which is great. I would have been a little bit disappointed if I would have paid full price for it because the packaging does have some defects to it. As you can see, well, you might not be able to see, but each one of these has like wrinkles in between the pan in the actual product's packaging. And then this color right here has like a weird, almost like a crack in it along the edge of the pan. All the colors seem fine. I did swatch them. I've never had any Dose of Colors products before, so I don't know their formulation, but I was a little bit surprised at like how hard the mattes felt. They didn't feel really buttery. They did feel smooth, but they didn't feel like that really soft buttery feeling, which doesn't say whether or not it's going to apply well on the eyes, but I was just a little bit surprised. They looked like they would have been a little bit more creamy than that. But these two colors are stunning, and actually this one surprised me quite a bit too when I swatched it because I felt like it was just going to be like one of those colors where the glitter just kind of went away when you blended it out, but no, it's actually going to stay in there. So I'm super excited about that. I think the color that I'm going to use today is, I believe that one's called Dirty Money. This is really the one that I wanted the most out of the palette. I mean, yes, this blue is also stunning and I will get plenty of looks out of that, but I really like green eyeshadows, so I was really interested in getting that one. So we're just going to start off with a transition shade. I'm going to go into Basic, which is this one right here, and I'm just going to take a fluffy brush, tap that in, and go all over the lid. Not all over the lid, but in the crease and up to my brow. So this is blending out really nicely. It has a little bit of a peach undertone to it, which I really like. It's a really nice transition shade for my skin tone. Then I'm gonna just work my way down. I'm gonna go to this middle one that's called Necessary here. Oop, you can't even see me dipping in. Same thing, we're just gonna work that into the crease and not go as high up as the rest of the eyeshadow. Okay, so that is looking pretty good. I am going to take a smaller shader brush. This one's by Coastal Scents, and it's their BRC-S08. The one that I was using prior to is also Coastal Scents, which is BR-C-N09, if you guys are interested in that. So I'm going to take this brush here. I am going to dip into this darker brown. I believe this one is called Cheens. And we're just getting the tip of that brush in there. And I'm going to put this on the outer third here, into the V, blending it across the lid a little bit. And go back into Necessary here. And then just blend across Cheens. Alright, so I'm liking that. I'm going to do the lower lash line. This is my favorite lower lash line brush. This is by Crown. It's their C528. It's kind of like a fluffy pencil brush. You could use it as a small detailing brush like in the outer corner or some really fine work in the crease, but I love it for the lower lash line. So on the lower lash line, we're not going to go into this lightest color. We're going to go into the second color that we use, which is Necessary. And we're just going to blend that underneath. And these colors seem like they're like no effort here to just blend out. Like that pretty much already seems done. Okay, so then we're going to go back into Cheens, which is the darker brown color here, and just concentrate that on the outer third here and connecting it up top. Okay, that's looking pretty good. I'm just going to take that fluffy brush that we had, again that's the Crown brush, and just kind of blend that out, smoke it out just a little bit down. No extra product or anything, just blend it down and around. Perfect. So then next up we're going to go into Dirty Money, which I'm so excited about. And I'm just taking a Crown brush. This is their C510. It's just a flat natural hair brush, and we're going to dip in and wiggle a little bit to get this one on there. And I'm just going to go in and tap that all over the lid here. Oh my god, that color is stunning. I love it. It's like an antique-y gold with a little hint of green. It's like a dirty gold color for sure. And then I'm going to go in with that small shader brush that I used for the lower lash line. Again, that's the Crown C528. I'm going to dip into Dirty Money again, and I'm just going to add a little bit of this to the lower lash line. Alright, perfect. So I do have a little bit of fallout here on my nose, but otherwise, like, honestly, I didn't really have any fallout for that. So I'm going to go ahead and do my other eye, and then we'll pop back on and do the rest. Okay, other eye done. I feel like in the viewfinder they look pretty even. Sometimes I have a little bit of trouble with that, but we're all human. So what I'm going to do next is just go back into the Pixi palette. I'm going to take the highlight color and just do the inner corner. There's not really a color in that palette that I feel like is going to be good for the inner corner, so I'm going to use something out of here. And I'm just using whatever brush I could find. This one is one that came in like a Bare Minerals palette. Alright, and I do have a new mascara to use. I picked up the IT Cosmetics Superhero mascara. I picked it up, I believe it was like Black Friday or something like that. So here it is here. I've never used it before, but I've heard really good things about it. And the bristle just looks like this. It's like your standard wand for a mascara. So let's go ahead and put that on. Okay, Okay, so far I really quite like this mascara. The bristle has some stiffness to it, so you really feel like you can get in there and comb all the lashes. It really does a good job at like separating and lengthening them. Yeah, it gives me like a really nice full long lash. I could see it really working well from the lower lashes too, because the wand is not really big. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to use that other side, the brightening side of that brow product, and we're just going to go ahead and put that in the waterline. Okay, so for lips, I got sent this package by Pop Beauty. I'm not even going to be able to fit it all in here, but it has the 3 YouTubers that they had recently worked with, and each one came out with 2 new colors, and then they have 2 of the colors for each one that they picked out that was already in their line. I generally don't use matte lipsticks, like matte liquid lipsticks, but I'm going to go ahead and give one a try out. The rest of these likely will end up in a giveaway, so keep an eye out for those. What color to pick though? I mean, I'm really leaning towards a nude. Or maybe a berry? Or maybe a berry? Nearly nude or pale baby. I think I'm going to open those and see which one will look best. So we have nearly nude and pale baby. Let's open these up and see which one is a little bit lighter. They come in this super fun packaging like this. It's got silver, and then in the packaging it has like a cutout here of lips and the little star design, and you can see what color it is. So that one that I was holding up is nearly nude, and then this one I believe was a creation by one of the YouTubers, by Megs. So if you guys watch Megs, this is one of her creations with Pop Beauty. And it has her little signature on there with bigger lips cut out. I believe though I am going to go with nearly nude because it's slightly warmer, so let's go ahead and put this on. I'm just going to go ahead and leave the lip balm on though that I have underneath because my lips are dry anyway. Oh, these smell so good. Okay guys, what do we think? So this has like a little flat doe foot applicator on it. The formula feels kind of creamy as it's going on. So we'll see. It might not be so bad if it's more of just like not like a super dry matte liquid lip, but let's see if it dries down. Alright guys, so here is the finished look. What do you think? What do you think? I really enjoyed pretty much everything that I was using today. So let's just do a quick run through of the things that I used, and I'll give you my thoughts quickly on them. The facial mist, like I already said, if you really like a fine mist and you like a moisturizing mist, this one has a great mist, and it doesn't have an overly overwhelming rose scent. I do like rose. I was a little disappointed that this wasn't like a really natural smelling rose. It was just a very light smelling rose, but it gives sort of a list of the ingredients on the back. Not sort of, it does. It gives a list of the ingredients on the back and where they are derived from, like what it means. So that's kind of cool. It is vegan formula, no animal derived ingredients or byproducts, says 99% naturally derived ingredients. So it talks about that on the back. The primer I really liked as well. I don't feel like it did so much brightening, but it did smooth the skin, just give it a really nice healthy appearance. This I think would be awesome for a no makeup day. I felt like it just really made my skin look nice and healthy, but not shimmery, which sometimes I feel like looks sort of odd if you don't have makeup on. So I really enjoyed this as well. The Tarte Shape Tape, I feel like it's nice. It does have high coverage, but I feel like it can look a little bit heavy, so I use it sparingly and I sort of always thin it out. I don't ever use it with a brush, so I always use it with a little makeup sponge that is damp so that it dilutes it a little bit, but otherwise it's okay. I don't know that I'll go out of my way to repurchase it because I like the Maybelline Fit Me. There's other drugstore options that I like, and I don't honestly need that much of a full coverage concealer, but I definitely wanted to give it a try. Then as far as this powder foundation, I like it. I've only used it twice, but I did wear it all day yesterday. Like I put it on at like 8:30 in the morning and I took it off at like 7:30 at night, and it still looked just as good. I had a little bit of flaking around my acne, but generally that happens if I have foundation on all day, which I would much prefer that because I can kind of just pick it off and it looks fine, than my face being like an oily mess and it's not staying on the acne and not giving me the coverage. So this I do really like, and if you see a color that you think will work for you, I would recommend picking it up. The Hello Halo by Wet n Wild, I do really like this color. It's just a nice natural color for me. It gives a little bit of radiance underneath the skin, which I think is nice, especially when you're using a powder foundation. So I would highly recommend these, plus they're really inexpensive. Let's see, next up is the Pixi Glow Cake. I like the look that it's given me today. It's very glowy, like as you can see. I feel very glowy. The bronzer for me is a little bit light, which honestly is kind of weird, but I feel like you could layer a matte bronzer underneath, then add this little bit of glow, and I think it would look very pretty. I don't feel like I have enough bronzer on, but it's a nice light look. If I got too much tanner, I don't think it would really show, but it would just give a nice glow to the skin. So that's up to you. I think they only have the 2 colors. But if you feel like you would like a product like this, it's kind of nice that you just be able to toss this in and have all 3 items that you need, and the colors all go together. So take that as you will. Then the Desi and Katy palette. Now this is the first time I've used it, obviously, but I can't say enough good things so far about it. I really love the Dirty Money color. I really love the Dirty Money color. I feel like it's very, very pretty. I actually am surprised. The shimmers in here are different than any that I have in my collection. This rose one I would think is the one that I probably have, other ones that are similar. I didn't use this warm brown or this one, but these 2 colors blended out really, really nicely. This one I felt like was a little bit patchy, but I made it work, and it wasn't super difficult to work with, but I did notice it was a little bit patchy. But I will continue to use it. I'm happy that this is in my collection. Let's see, this brow product, I've used it before. I like the color. Again, like I said, this I really use on my waterline. I don't use it underneath my brows or anything like that. Will I rebuy it? Likely not, unless it's on like a sale or something, but I do enjoy it. Then the It Cosmetics Superhero Mascara, I'd absolutely buy this again. I don't know if I'd pay full price for it because I feel like I can get something similar at the drugstore, but it is a very, very nice mascara, and I would absolutely rebuy it, especially if it's on a sale like it was this last time. As far as the matte liquid lip, that almost like hurt putting my lips together. It's not quite dry. It feels pretty tacky yet, and it does feel heavy on the lips. It feels like I have something on the lips. It's not the worst liquid lipstick that I've ever tried, but again, I'm just not a fan, so I'm not going to be a good judge of it. I think the color is very beautiful. I think it looks great on the lips. It didn't have any trouble putting it on. It didn't look patchy or streaky or anything like that. It gave me a nice full pigment. Smell amazing. They feel good going on. I just kind of wish it was like just a cream lipstick. I just don't do the mattes. I feel like if you wanted a matte lip, you could blot it a little bit and put powder over it, and it would feel just fine if they did it like just like a liquid lipstick that was a matte. But right now it's not, you know, transferring or anything like that. I'm likely just going to take it off. Yeah, because I just don't like matte liquid lips. So the other ones, definitely keep your eye out for a giveaway. I mean, I'm kind of torn with that because it was sent to me in PR, so I feel like maybe I could just swatch them out, do like a lip swatch video, but then they're not going to be, then I'm not going to use them after that and I can't give them away. So I feel like I'm just going to pass them on to you guys who will likely be able to enjoy them or donate to them to some like women's shelter or something. Although the colors look stunning, I just know my lips and I'm not going to wear a product like that. And yes, I could use them for filming and just use them in my videos, but I don't want to sell you guys a product that I know personally I would not wear on a daily basis because I just don't like matte lips. But it doesn't feel terribly dry. Like, it does feel like it's moving with my lips, and it doesn't feel like it's gonna crack and stuff like that. So take that as you will. But that's it. That's my thoughts on everything. I'm done rambling, guys. I hope you enjoyed this Get Ready With Me and a quick review of the items that I've tried on. If you did, please just give it a thumbs up or leave me a comment. Let me know what your favorite product was in the video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.